That was intentional.
Okay, I'm sure. Yeah.
We have a show, it's called Superhuman Showdown.
Okay.
Basically, it's a show about ordinary people doing extraordinary
things.
stuff, no?
Right.
So, alam nyo naman, basketball is really close to my heart.
Definitely.
So, we've been doing vertical runs, but we've noticed that yung mga marathons, the regular road races, medyo nagpa-plateau na. So, we decided something different. Because of Gilas, medyo maingay ngayon ng basketball. So, we decided to do a basketball marathon. And we didn't realize nung simula na meron palang Guinness World Record.
Okay.
So we did some checking, we inquired, and that's when how we found out na there's a record na we have to break.
Okay. Now, how did you establish the parameters? Did you get the rules from Guinness? How did you go about it?
We sent the usual inquiry, and then they provided us immediately the guidelines. And we submitted an application. And once we got the application number, the search began.
Okay. I understand you had a couple of 100,000 people show up to try out for this thing.
Well, when we launched it online, wala nga sa TV, 330,000
inquiries
worldwide.
Okay.
In the first tryout nga, we had a Malaysian, Chinese,
Who came to the Philippines and
went to the Philippines
Wow. Okay.
at nag-try out.
Tapos hindi pumasa.
Obviously.
But the rules are, you have two teams. Okay.
Yeah, so basic rule, FIBA rules.
Okay.
But some tweaking, no?
Obviously the time.
It's just one game.
Okay.
No timeouts. No quarter breaks, no
No timeouts.
no timeouts.
No quarter breaks.
No halftime
You can't
breaks.
tell when the game's gonna end.
Oh, kaya nga.
Okay.
Di ba?
And our players can't leave the playing court.
So they will live there for 4
They
days.
will
The
live
playing
there.
court or the
They cannot leave the
structure?
building.
They can leave the building.
Kailangan harap sila sa camera at all times.
Okay, so they are inside the playing
So in
court
other
at
words,
all times.
the camera must have an uninterrupted view of everybody involved.
That's right.
Okay.
If just in case mawala sila, the record keepers will take note, and there is an auditor present
Wow.
to certify that.
Okay.
Because the adjudicator, the Guinness adjudicator,
Will be here.
Will be here, pero
Yeah.
on the 4th day, on Thursday.
Okay.
So, habang wala siya, it's the independent witnesses who will represent Guinness.
Okay.
And who are these independent witnesses that will certify to the Guinness adjudicator that indeed you were following
One should
the
be a member of the National Sports Association,
Okay.
in other words, SBP, or a professional association.
Okay.
And then the other one is the auditor,
Okay.
which is BDO.
Okay. Now the next question here is, of course, this will eventually get a little dangerous for the players because of the sheer exhaustion that they're facing. How do you ensure that the players will get through this?
Well, before right now, we're still in the top 30. We're still searching for the
final 24.
final 24. So these guys are not yet secure, you know? So,
That's why they're not smiling.
so when we reach yung top 100, nag-medical screening sila sa medical city. From ECG to stress test and all. And the hard part there was when we had our panel interview, telling some of these kids na may butas ka sa puso.
Oh my goodness.
You can't play. So,
Or you could injure yourself.
you could injure. Just today, meron pa silang medical screening sa muscular skeletal naman nila to check kung merong magkaka-ACL na ba sila.
Is there a partial tear that could be aggravated and all that?
Once we pick the top 24, Medical City is a partner. We have 3 ambulances on standby.
Okay.
We have
Including
physical
one for you.
Okay, let me now go to Larry. Larry, a task of this magnitude, playing a 2-hour game is bad enough for
30 minutes is hard enough
for
for
some
us.
people, especially for our age.
Speak for yourself.
But playing a game that could actually last for
4 days.
days. Well, we're calculating nga, 4 days sabi natin eh. How does that strike you?
Well, it's going to be very difficult because the problem with the usual training and games that we play, it's only would last us for 2 hours, maybe 3 hours at the most, at any particular time. So that's where the mental toughness comes in. You have to have the mental focus that you need. So even though your body's giving up, but when your mind's set on doing something or accomplishing something, I think your mind will lead you to that direction.
Talking about the other players, what's the strategy going to be? How do you guys plan to last 4 days?
The plan is to have a pacing. So once the pacing is correct, everything will go on.
Okay.
Pag sinabi mong pacing, paano yun?
So
Petik-petik lang na laro.
not
No,
really.
Guinness will not allow it.
Oh, really?
The quality of the game.
The spirit of the game should be there. Kunyari, hindi pwede si Clark na nandun lang sa offensive end and his 4 other teammates nandun sa defensive end. Ibabato na lang sa kanya pag sa kanila na yung...
Hindi ka talaga
talagang, hindi pwede, Brad. I only do defense.
But you're very offensive, actually.
Sometimes, in front of you. Pag naglalaro ka na, sabihin na natin, umaabot na ng mga, natin, 5-6 na oras na tuloy-tuloy. As tingin mo kaya, paano na reaction ng katawan mo? No?
So I think normally a body can take it kapag walang pahinga. Sabi nga natin, Sir Larry said, so kailangan natin ng mindset. Yung mindset na yun, so dadalhin yun yung katawan natin.
Okay.
Pero may game plan na kasi.
May game plan.
Game plan. Di ba 2 teams? 12 per team. No? So, hatiin sila 6-6. So, 2-hour shifts. So, kunyari tayong 5,
Plus
o
1
6, plus 1 sub.
Okay.
O, tayo from 9 to 11. Tayong lalaro.
9 to 11
Oo,
tayo.
pero si Larry yung sub natin. Pagdating ng 11 to 1, the other half
Will not play.
replaces the
The people on the floor.
So in other words, the only interruptions will be fouls, and if there's... What about the fouls? How's the rule on that? The
6
limitless
fouls.
Six
6 fouls. Pero every
So-
2 hours, back to 0.
Akala ko 6 fouls, tapos for every succeeding foul, free throw ulit.
Parang Lakers.
Parang gano'n, di ba?
Balik yung player.
Balik yung player.
Okay. The other question there will be, what about when the quality of the game starts to suffer? What's the point at which Guinness will say that no longer counts? Because let's say these guys are exhausted by the second, third day.
Parang yung haki nating story kanina.
It's very clear in the Guinness guidelines that the spirit of the game,
Okay.
I mean, hindi pwede yung talagang 4 players na lang talaga actively playing. The key there is to substitute.
Yeah.
The layout is, the court is here. Yung tulugan kasi nila is at the court side.
Okay.
So
Is it
anybody
right
can
behind,
just
right behind the bench?
jump in.
siguro?
Oo.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right.
So
And what if one team is leading by a really, really big margin already?
it doesn't matter for Guinness.
Okay.
There's a score, by the way. So the
So you have-
existing record is 11,860 for the winning team, 11,600 for the losing team, and the
That's a pretty
highest
close
scorer. The highest scorer, yung ano niya, was 3,000. And you know, we had a dry run nung Monday. In our 2-hour game, they scored 600 points.
Wow. Combined or individually?
So I guess
One
defense
team.
is not necessary. So
Per
hindi
team.
ka kailangan.
Okay.
Pero kasi mali nga yung pacing nila. They were really running. I mean,
They were at it. Okay, talagin ko na si Paul Michael de la Peña. Paul, pag ganito na, nung dry run nyo, ano yung napansin mo sa sarili mo looking ahead to doing the real thing?
Napansin ko lang, nung una kasi, iniisip ko, kaya to. Nung while ginagawa na namin yung dry run namin, pang bumibigat yung katawan ko, pang napapagod na ako. Akala ko, hindi din pa ganun kadali.
So sa tingin mo kaya kailangan ng maraming oxygen tank tsaka maraming hilo pagdating nung
Pagkain.
actual o pagkain.
Mangangayayat
Kakain ka ba
ka?
ng marami? Pag ganon?
Hindi din siguro. Mabigat.
Mabigat sa katawan o mabigat?
You could actually get a flu on the first day and recover by the fourth day already.
With all the sweating that you'll be doing, ano? Okay, Robbie, Ito ba magiging unang pagkakataon mo sumali sa ganitong record breaker or trying to set a record in any sport? Unang
Yeah, this
pagkakataon
will
mo
be
to?
my first time for setting a new record.
And how do you feel about it? I mean, what are your thoughts regarding joining an endeavor of this magnitude?
Well, nakakatuwa kasi I'm going to represent the Philippines. Right, so yun, nakakatuwa siya. And for me, it's an opportunity. Kasi I was an aspirant before. Gusto ko maging player talaga. So yun, for me, nakakatuwa. Tsaka it's an
But
opportunity.
what's your biggest fear in joining this as well? What's your biggest fear?
Well, siguro yung health. My health. Kasi it will be at risk. And, can I say that?
You already did. No, because there are natural hazards to the game. You could sprain your ankle. You could.
Let me share this. No, the existing record holder, the Americans, no, it was set in 2012. Their average age at that time was 41, and they had like two 70-year-old players.
Wow.
Right now,
So pwede ka 70.
Pare, sabi ko sa'yo.
And you have, I understand, you have female participants or just one?
one girl.
One
no,
girl,
one
okay.
girl. And also, no, yung Guinness rules do not require Filipino residency.
Okay.
So there are 4 Americans
foreigners
joining.
joining.
Clark is an American here.
Okay.
Talaga?
But the 3 Americans are flying in next week.
Okay. Now, last question before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Let's say you do exceed the record.
Yeah.
When do you stop?
120.
120 hours.
120 hours.
That's 6 days.
Yes, Saturday. If we do the tip off Monday morning, 8 a.m., we end Saturday, 8 a.m.
Morning
So that's
of
the goal.
8 a.m.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. As long
Wow.
as we don't run
That's
out
the
of
goal.
players.
6
Well, good luck,
days.
guys.
Good luck.
We'll be there cheering you on
Definitely.
some of the time. And for our last shot tonight, NBA Hall of Famer Irvin Magic Johnson once said, "There's winning and there's losing, and in life both will happen. What's unacceptable to me is quitting." And so it is.
Whoa! Birthday shoutout to
Sabi
Tito
ko na meron na naman eh.
Robles of LaSalle Green
We
Hills
know whose child
Section
that is.
3I. And that's coming from your dad, who
He's our
obviously
director,
is
so
our
we have no
director.
choice.
Take care, everybody. Congratulations to all the Jazz Productions for a great show by Incognito last night at
There
the
you go.
Soler Resort
Dudy,
and
congrats.
Casino. Yeah, Dudy, Melu, Eddie Choa. Guys, great day show. Thank you for having us. I'm Boy at Season. Along ka mo.
By the way, March 22 is the 4th anniversary of our dear friend Amis Tumang's amazing playground.
4 years na.
4 years pala.
Wow.
Sikat na siya.
Oh, sikat na siya.
I'm Bill Velasco. Join us again next Wednesday when we hit hard and hit strong when we play hardball. Good night, God bless. Stay safe. Whom will survive?
4 years. 4 years na.
Supplier.
Oh, buti pa si Bill Amis. May bago ng jacket.
First to give us